notice there's something lacking. Yes, I've shaved my hair off. But, despite looking like a potato, I am still here to give you yet another LGBTQ plus book recommendation. This time it's Respectable by Kate Beaumont, also known as Cosmicmind Comics. Now, a lot of these slice of life, growing into your community type of stories, they're very popular at the minute, and rightfully so, because of people like Alice Oseman and like many more, the popularity of Heartstopper. And if you like anything like that, then you are going to absolutely love Respectable. I'll use the synopsis on the back to tell you what it's about, because to be honest, I am all for telling people what a story is about without giving spoilers. And if there's anything people hate, it's spoilers. So in this one, you got Toby Barnes has everything that he ever hoped for. A good job, the gorgeous girlfriend, the whole respectable lifestyle. But there's one thing he didn't count on, and it's driving him crazy. Everything's too normal. And with his friends trying to get him to be himself, he's finding he can't mesh the two opposing sides. Can he balance his sensible life with his true self, or has something got to give? Perhaps being respectable is not all it promised. Now, respectable, that's a funny word, isn't it? Because it can mean many different things to many different people. And you always hear, a lot of the time, from homophobes that the LGBTQ lifestyle isn't respectable. And that's where this book comes in. Because poor Toby, while trying to be true to himself, is actually ignoring a large part of himself. And that happens to a lot of us in life. Some of us don't come into being who we truly want to be until later in life. It's the same for Toby. And it's the same in this story. Now, like I said before, there will be comparisons to things like Heartstopper, but this one came out, I think it was about 3 or 4 years before Heartstopper. But the strange thing is, despite the gap between them coming out, ironically, pun not intended, this reads like a really good companion to the Heartstopper series. It's almost as if you're seeing like the adult selves of those characters and seeing what could become of their lives, despite the characters in this book obviously being completely different characters. Now, if like me, and you read this, and I read this more than once in one evening, I liked it that much. One of the things that I found was I just wanted to know more and more and more about the characters. Now, if I remember rightly, there is a prequel to Respectable called Rockabilly. Now, that one will no doubt appear at some point on another episode of this one, or this series that I do. So I won't give anything away for that one. But back to Respectable. This is a wonderful, wonderful book by a wonderful, wonderful artist. Now, I'll just take the art cards out for a second. Now, Kate Beaumont has got a wonderful, wonderful art style. Now, one of the things I like about it is, while it's detailed, it doesn't bog itself down in the tiny details. Instead, it's subtle, it's simple in the best possible way, and I adore that. I have worked with Kate myself on a couple of comic projects, and I hope to with more in the future, but Respectable, I really feel, is their tour de force. And yes, I'm being one of those people to use big and fancy words, but Respectable is absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It's the story of someone coming to terms of who they truly are. And one of the most wonderful things about this comic, this graphic novel, is that it isn't one of those everything is tied up magically and everyone's happy, the world is a wonderful place. None of that happens at the end of the comic book. It lends itself a real feel for the realistic, because not everything in life goes the way you want it to. Not everything in life is all tied up with rainbows and sprinkles and glitter. Some of my favourite things, by the way. Sometimes there are things left unresolved. Sometimes there are things that haven't gone as well as you want them to, and sometimes, just sometimes, there have been things that have gone absolutely wrong and just exploded in your face, no matter what kind of good intentions you have. Now, with Respectable, it treads that fine line of not having everything resolved, yet does so in a way that doesn't almost alienate the reader. It doesn't do that at all. Instead, it leaves you with a feeling of wanting more. You want to know more about Toby, you want to know more about Jack, you want to know more about the side characters that, while they are side characters, they're so wonderfully written that you want to know more of their stories. Cosmic Minds could easily make a whole series of these books based on all the characters just in this one alone, and have a wealth of well-defined, well-written and well-drawn characters. Now, I'm aware I've not told you a lot about the story in this one, but it's not my story to tell. It's a wonderful book and one that's worth well reading, and it's definitely one worth reading if you don't know where you fit in the community, where you don't feel, you don't know where you fit in with yourself even. I came out myself quite late in life, and because of that, this book would really hit home for me. Now, I urge you to follow Cosmic Mind Comics on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow all their wonderful work. They don't just do comic books, they do wonderful art of animals, of like nerdy things that they like. For example, in this book, which I did actually steal off of my partner Golden, were some wonderful bits of art, like Doctor Who TARDIS, because why the heck not? Guinan from Star Trek The Next Generation, and there's many, many more. So I urge you to follow them on every platform you can possibly follow them on. Also, go to the Cosmic Mind Comics Etsy shop and put your hand deep in your pocket and buy everything, because truly their shop is just a wealth of treasures just waiting for you to find them. With that in mind, I bid you farewell, live your best life and enjoy the comics. And once again, this episode has been about Respectable by Kate Beaumont, also known as Cosmic Mind Comics. Thank you, and I love you all.